You're listening to the September 17, 2016 reading of Blossom Goodchild's channeling with the Federation of Light.
Hello, O light beings of enormous wattage. So many enjoyed your talk last week regarding the codes. It was indeed interesting. Would you like to continue on that line today?
Welcome, brightest blossom. The subject of coding is naturally one that would take up many conversations. Our thought pattern being loaded with questions many would like answering, and yet we would not wish to confuse and bemuse.
Happy to be confused and bemused if you feel it right to continue. I mean, for instance, this coding that's everywhere, where exactly is everywhere?
What do you consider everywhere to be?
Within everything. Yet, is that just in our realm? Does it pertain to other dimensions also, etheric realms, etc.? You get my drift, I'm sure.
We do, indeed. Our reply would be that of the positive, in that it is the very nature of manifestation itself. Therefore, all that is coincides with this residential code, meaning that the energy of something, let us say wood, has a basic code to it. Then it is adjusted depending on what kind of wood it is, and where it is situated, and how tall it chooses to be, how many leaves, how many branches, etc. You can see why, how, this could be bemusing.
Okay, so does the code exist in different dimensions?
Yes, indeed. Although, again, if we were to speak perhaps of parallel lifetimes, there may be the same tree, and yet, because it is in a different vibration, the coding would be the same basic foundation, plus the factor of the energy vibration within that parallel kingdom.
I feel the need to ask, are there no end to parallel lives?
Good question, and the correct assumption. For, to get really complicated, every new thought can take you into a parallel life.
Is every parallel life in a different universe?
No, it is simply on a different vibration. As, for instance, your elemental realm, it is within, around your world, yet cannot be seen due to the different, finer energy vibration that the elementals reside in. It is, therefore, the same within jumping into a parallel existence. You do it all the time, yet you are mostly unaware of it.
It's difficult to form the question. Let's call this life I am in right now L1. When I jump into L2, L3, L4, etc., does the same coding come with me and adapt, or is it a different computer coding altogether, if you see what I mean?
We do. And yes, it is a different computer coding, for it is in a different energy system.
Oh, this jumping stuff is very confusing.
Yet so simple that you don't even have to know how you are doing it.
I don't understand how one can keep jumping with every thought, because does that mean, say, my husband is jumping in and out and over with me in just one conversation?
We see the complications of trying to understand. Let us put it like this to assist. In a movie, you have little scenes. There is action. Then there is a cut. A little frame has been created that will be part of one big movie. It is sort of like that. Yet, words again here are so inadequate when one is moving in and out of lives. You see, Blossom, it is all around energy, because everything is energy. Yet energy, the pure basic element of it, is love. Love is the ultimate energy of all that is. Therefore, anything deriving from that fundamental truth is coming from the highest intelligence there is. For you at this place in your timeline, that intelligence is unfathomable. It is incomprehensible. One cannot imagine. Yet, we say to you, the dance of life itself is ever changing and improving upon itself.
Just to stop you there, so we can try and keep on track. We have, through movies, etc., been led to believe that one jumps through a portal or vortex in order to come into a different time zone or parallel existence. Yet you're saying this is not so.
No, we are not saying that. For there are different degrees of jumping, for want of a better way of putting it. There is your every move, every thought degree, and there is your fully physical extraction into somewhere you may or may not have been before.
What is the difference?
A great deal.
This is getting a bit too far down the rabbit hole for me to follow, to be honest. Not sure I'm getting this.
It is indeed of great magnitude and perhaps a little too intense for us to explain.
If I was a scientist or physicist, would you be able to?
It makes no difference as to what one does, Blossom. It is more the requirement of being able to put into simply formed words something that is so intelligent in its workings and codings that it doesn't make any sense.
You're right there.
The fact is,
Here we go.
this, all of this, that you are, that you know, the world that you consider yourself to be functioning in, doesn't exist in real terms. It is all your imagination. Would we say, to assist, it is one big video game?
Yes, I've heard of this. This is nothing new, in that it is all an illusion. Even though I cannot and do not understand it, I can, however, accept it.
Therefore, capabilities on all levels are just a switch in thought within that game. Are they not?
Don't ask me.
In a video game, you can program different levels of that same level. In example, easy, medium, hard. And you adapt accordingly. Yet it is just a switch of a button to give you what you are choosing. You live your lives through choice. All that comes to you, all that happens to you, is because of the choices you make, through thought. Nothing is set in stone. You change your codes as you go, as you experiment, as you experience, as you live, as you love.
And yet these codes don't actually exist.
In the game, they do.
Yet the game doesn't exist.
Not in reality.
Then where?
In your mind.
How come the mind can persuade itself to believe that I am a physical being in reality?
Because that is the program. That is the game you have chosen to be in right now.
How far does this game go? Does it stop when I take my last breath on Earth?
Absolutely not.
Oh, shoot me now.
Blossom, you are doing well to keep up so far.
So when does it stop? When do we reach the last square on the board?
You don't. Yet that is not to say that you cannot and do not come in and out of the game. When you choose to coexist in higher vibrational realms that merely observe the game and do not participate.
Well, that's what I sort of meant about when we pass over.
Yet we then go into realms of what level of thought you choose to move into when you do. For each individual's passing is unique. For each individual is unique in its own thought, in its own story. And, depending on one's understanding of being or not being a full participant in the game, will then determine whether or not, when they pass through the earthly vibration, they remain in the game or not.
Drugs. I need more drugs.
May we say here, to bring you back to earth,
Lost my parachute. Sorry.
all of this that we are speaking to you about matters not. Your essential purpose of your existence is to know yourself. And that means to know love, to be love. All this trying to understand about codes and dimensions is truly unnecessary at this stage of the game. If you understood it all, what difference would it make? Would you change the coding? No, for it does it itself. Would you jump into a different lifetime? No, for you are doing that without even having to think. What is there to change? Only, ever, always, your thoughts about who you are. Continue to change those into a more loving, receiving, giving, understanding, more compassionate way of loving yourself. That is all you need to do. That is all you are here to do. For in doing so, you are changing the codes so dramatically that the codes themselves then move into a different level, a different category, a different frequency of number sequences that vibrate beautifully to match that of your ever-enlightened hearts.
Basically then, something I realized many moons ago. In order to get the hang of this game, in order to get on top of it and play it to the best of its ability, all I need to do is spend each and every moment in love. I haven't mastered it yet. Practice makes perfect.
You have hit the nail on the head.
Yep, and after today's session, something needed to hit me on the head to bring me back to my senses. Loving you muchly, and in such gratitude for your love.
We are always in mind to each and every one. Be of great joy. Such wonderful changes are here to greet you further ahead.
Yep. So I'll just keep on walking in that light and that love.